Welcome to the Trojan Windup. I'm Ty Hawkins, bringing you all the action from Week 3 of the 2016 season. The week started with the number 22 Trojans traveling to Long Beach for a midweek game against the Dirtbags. CJ Stubbs got the start for the Trojans, and the team had some trouble in the first. 2 hits along with a pair of errors led to 3 unearned runs, and USC was in an early 3-0 hole. But USC answered immediately in their half of the second, starting with Adalberto Carrillo. It was Carrillo's 3rd home run in the past 5 games, but the Trojans were far from done. After a hit and a walk, David Oppenheim tied the game with a single to left, and Jeremy Martinez followed with another single to give the Trojans the lead. Timmy Robinson hit a sac fly, and USC now had a 5-3 lead. Long Beach would get another unearned run in the second to cut the Trojan lead to 1, but the USC pitching staff would dominate from there. Mason Perriman came in the 4th and went 3 scoreless innings, scattering 3 hits. Joe Navalon would follow with 2 perfect innings, and Brooks Kriske had a 1-2-3 ninth to get the save. Single runs for USC in the 5th and the 9th rounded out the scoring, and the Trojans ended up with a 7-4 victory. The weekend would see the Trojans' toughest competition yet, starting Friday night with the Oklahoma Sooners. Trojan ace Kyle Davis got the start, and his offense gave him an early lead to work with.
Fisted into center. It's going to be a base hit. It'll be cut off by Walker. They're waving in Newtbar. It's bobbled in center. Now Oppenheim will be held at third. Robinson into second. And
with 2 runners on, Robinson smacked a single to center field to drive a run in. Then A.J. Ramirez followed with a single of his own to bring home 2 more and give USC a 3-0 lead. The Sooners fought back, scoring 1 in the 3rd and 2 more in the 5th to tie the game at 3. But in the 6th, the Trojans retook the lead. After a sac fly by Dylan Paulson, Lars Newtbar would come up with a big 2-out hit to knock in a run and give the Trojans a 5-3 lead. Oklahoma scored a run in the 8th to draw within 1, and in the 9th, they kept the pressure on, loading the bases with just 1 out. Brad Wegman came in from the bullpen to try and save the game.
On March 8th of 2015, grounded to third. This could be 2. Carrillo to second. Rios to first. They got it, and there's the win. USC with what is a walk-off double play. It only takes Wegman 1 pitch, but USC has the W.
1 pitch, and the game was over, with the Trojans coming out on top, 5-4. Saturday, USC would host the number 20 Mississippi State Bulldogs, starting Bernardo Flores in what would be a dramatic back-and-forth affair. The Trojans opened the scoring in the 1st on a single by Oppenheim and a 2-out double by Robinson. The Bulldogs got 3 in the 2nd, but USC came right back in the 3rd. After a run-scoring single by Oppenheim, the Trojans retook the lead on a towering 3-run home run by Robinson. USC was up 5-3. The 4th was the Bulldogs' turn to respond, and they put up 4 runs of their own, taking a 7-5 lead. But USC shaved a run off that lead in the 5th when Martinez stepped to the plate.
Out in the top of the 5th, driven to left and crushed. Going back is Humphreys. He's looking up, and it's a long ball for Jeremy Martinez.
That made it 7-6 at the end of 5. Mississippi State would manufacture a run in the 6th, making it 8-6, and that was our score as we headed to the bottom of the 9th. The Trojans got a pair of walks to start the 9th, then Corey Dempster sacrificed the runners into scoring position with 1 out. A wild pitch by the Bulldogs brought in 1 run and put the tying run now just 90 feet away. But a hard grounder by Oppenheim was snagged by the pitcher, and Mississippi State escaped with an 8-7 victory. Sunday was the marquee game of the weekend as the Trojans faced off against the number 21 ranked UCLA Bruins at Dodger Stadium. 9,000 people were in attendance to see the crosstown rivals, and Brett Wheatley would get the start for USC. In the 1st, Ramirez would give the Trojans an early lead with a fly ball to right that turned into a 2-run triple. In the 2nd, USC would get another run. After Frankie Rios was hit by a pitch and Reggie Southall singled to left, the pair would pull off a double steal with just 1 out. On the next pitch, Newtbar would put down a perfectly placed bunt, allowing Rios to cruise in with the Trojans' 3rd run. UCLA responded in the 3rd as Brett Stevens doubled to left center and scored on an infield single. Then, in the 4th, the Bruins tied the game as Stevens knocked in a pair of runs on a 2-out triple to right. That made it 3-3 at the end of the 4th. Then, the marathon game got going as both bullpens settled in, matching each other 0 for 0. For the next 9 innings, Navalon, Kriske, Jeff Paschke, and Mark Huberman held the Bruins scoreless with the help of a huge double play to end the 13th, and the game was still tied at 3 heading to the 14th inning. That's when the Bruins would finally break through, scoring a pair of runs on an infield single and an error. USC kept fighting in the bottom of the 14th, getting runners to 2nd and 3rd with 1 out, but left them stranded to lose the game 5-3. With the 2-2 week, USC drops out of the rankings as they head to Fort Worth for a weekend series against the number 11 ranked TCU Horned Frogs. USC beat TCU in last year's Dodgertown Classic, and they'll be looking for a repeat performance this time on the road. Each game will be broadcast on radio with all the info at usctrojans.com. Thanks for being with us this week. For the Trojan Windup, I'm Ty Hawkins. Fight on.